Hi, it's me again, and I'm back with another one of those ridiculous letters from TV licensing. And this one has really wound me up more than usual, mostly because of the envelope. Most of the time they come in a normal plain envelope with legal occupier or your name on them, whatever. But this one's proper wound me up. Have a look at this envelope. But at least it's not a red envelope this time, I guess. But look at this, there's a big window cut in it. Local investigation active in your postcode, and it's addressed to the legal occupier. So God knows what your friendly local post person thinks you're going to be up to with legal occupier and local investigation active on this postcode. God knows. Who do they think they are, these people? Who do they think they are? Some people will be genuinely embarrassed by that. Not me, I wouldn't care less, and my postman doesn't know me anyway, so that makes no difference to me. But I can imagine some people would be genuinely embarrassed to receive that. And I guarantee that's the reason they do it. So let's break this letter down as we always do. If you've got this letter, it says local investigation active in your postcode in big red letters. I'm going to do what I always do. We're going to go through it. We're going to break it down. And I'm going to let you know what it's all about and what you need to do about it. But this one has wound me up already. It's proper wound me up already. Local investigation active in your postcode. As there is no record of a TV licence at your address, we have authorised an enforcement visit. It's a criminal offence to watch or record live programmes on any channel or device or download or watch BBC programmes on iPlayer without being covered, blah, blah, blah. This could result in prosecution and a fine of up to £1,000 plus any legal costs, etc. So let's break that bit down, shall we? So, local investigation active in my postcode. How's that investigation going, TV licensing? Because you're addressing me as legal occupier. So your investigation hasn't gone far enough as to find my blooming name yet. So it's a cracking investigation so far. Proud of you guys. And the other thing is, there's no record of a TV licence at your address. We've authorised an enforcement visit. Well, maybe there's no record of a TV licence at this address because the person genuinely doesn't need a television licence. And they don't need to tell you that if they don't want to. So you're assuming guilt. You're assuming this person requires your service. And as you say in the next line here, look, you can't watch or record live programmes on any channel device or use BBC iPlayer. Well, if that person doesn't do that, they don't need to buy your licence, do they? So why are you assuming that they're guilty? Why? Why? It makes no sense to assume guilt, does it? Winds me up. Winds me up. And the enforcement visit's a complete nonsense as well, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go through the rest of it first. Last year, we visited an address every 6 seconds with a little asterisk. What's the little asterisk say? Based on average annual visits between 17 and 19 and available working hours in a week. That sounds excessive to me. Every 6 seconds? I'm not sure I believe that. Not sure I believe that at all. Officers were in all parts of the country, including your postcode. Every day they knocked on around 8,000 doors, weekdays, evenings and weekends. So they're saying weekdays, evenings and weekends to try and scare you. Think you can't avoid their enforcement, their scary enforcement officers. Don't worry about that. But let's have a look. They knocked on around 8,000 doors a day. How many enforcement officers have they got now? It sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Unless they're visiting hundreds a day each because they're getting doors slammed in their face and being told to F off, which I don't condone, but it does happen. If you get a knock on one, you should just be polite, close the door. We'll talk about it in a second. Weekdays, evenings and weekends. Yeah, I don't know about the 8,000 bit. I would imagine they knock on a fair few doors a day because 99% of the people are either not in or closing the door in their face or swearing at them and telling them to bugger off. That's what happens on most visits. It's a numbers game for these people. And they get commission. That's how they earn their money. And anyone in sales knows it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more chance you got of making a sale. But yeah, don't worry about it if you get a visit. So let's just read a bit more and then we'll do that bit. So how to stop a visit at your postcode. Buy a TV licence. Funny that would solve the problem. Solve your problem. Move your existing licence to a current address or tell us you don't need one at tvlicensing.co.uk. Our regular viewers of the channel will know that I do currently tell them I don't require a television licence through their no licence needed declaration. Now that will cut down on the letters loads if you do that. You don't get any of the big red scary letters normally unless they have an administration error, which is shockingly common. But yeah, you get nicer letters and you don't get as many of them and stuff like that. But you might still get a visit anyway. Because what's the statistic they use? They said something like 8 out of every 10 homes who say they don't need a licence actually do need a licence. So we have to send one of our enforcement officers over just to make sure. And the thing with the enforcement officers, we call them goons, I call them door-to-door salespeople. You know, the thing about them is they earn commission. So they're incentivised to sell you a television licence, and they're very good at it. The more you talk to them, the more chance you've got of stitching yourself up or them stitching you up. If they get into your home, you're bang in trouble. Even if you're playing a completely straight game. No good can come from talking to them. They're incentivised through commission, which makes them dangerous to talk to. So the only safe way to deal with these people is knock on the door, you open it. Hello, who are you? I'm from TV licensing. No thanks, and get that door shut right away. Right away, just shut the door. Don't say anything. They might ask you to sign something. Don't sign it. Close the door. Be polite. Just close the door. Do not talk to them, and they will toddle off. Now, it says enforcement officers. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a name. The same as I call myself a burger inspector. But even though I call myself a burger inspector, doesn't mean I can walk into Macca's and go and see how they make the burgers, does it? And it's the same with these people. They might call themselves enforcement officers, but they don't have any powers at all. They can't enforce anything, and they definitely can't enter your property unless you let them. So the only way to deal with them is to close the door. They can't keep banging on it. They can't stick their foot in the door. They can't do any of that. They are door-to-door salesmen. No matter what they call themselves, I promise you, they don't have any powers. They're not bailiffs, they're not police. They are door-to-door salesmen. Close the door. Now, if you don't believe this is a thing, I'll put a link to a video below of these people getting doors closed in their face and they just toddle off. Because there is nothing they can do. And it's so satisfying when these people who think they can demand money with menaces from you or from your vulnerable relatives or from vulnerable people in the community or your nan or anything, seeing a door closed in their face is so satisfying. And it makes everything I do here, all the videos and all the effort that I put into it, it makes it all worth it. To get the videos from you people showing me closing the door in their face. I love it. And I've got a few more to bring you soon as well, so we'll talk about that. But they really ramp up the scary on it. Look, it's got a big red stamp. Enforcement visit approved. We're going to enforce something because you must be guilty. You must need our TV licence. Please pay it. Why don't you pay it? I've never known like an industry to work like this, you know. If you don't pay for your Netflix subscription, they don't come demanding money with menaces and sending you scary letters. It's a subscription service. And how do you know this person genuinely doesn't require your services? Have you asked anywhere in this letter, do you do this, do you do that? If you don't need a TV licence. Where does it say that in this letter? It doesn't. You're assuming they're guilty. They're assuming they're guilty, and it's wrong, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So if you've received this letter, I hope I've set your mind at ease. It's nothing to worry about. Bin the letters, bin all the letters. They don't even know who this person is, look. Legal occupier. They've got no idea who this person is, so their investigation's complete nonsense. If they knock on the door, you're going to close the door in their face, and they'll toddle off. And that's it. So there's nothing to worry about. And it's things like this that stop so many more people cancelling the TV licence. So many people would like to not pay it, but they're worried about this sort of thing. And that's why they do it. That's why they do it. But how they get away with writing these letters and how they get away with knocking on people's doors, I've got no idea. But hopefully it's all going to be coming to an end soon. And by all of us talking to as many people as possible about it and sharing the videos and doing what we can, getting more people to cancel, the quicker all this is going to end, because it's ridiculous and I just don't know. I don't know how to get away with it. But if you've got any other letters, you'll find a playlist below of all the letters I've covered so far. And if you've got a letter I think I haven't got, you've checked the playlist, it's not on there, do send it over to me. The contact details below on how you can send your letters over to me, and I look forward to getting them all. I like to get the letters and talk about them on the channel because it helps other people. So you sending your letters for me to talk about really does help other people. It really, really does. So thank you for that. So you go and do that, and I'll see you in another video again soon. Thanks for watching.